What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. My name is Steve Fast, and in Pennsylvania it's pretty much what winter is like for the most part. Cloudy, gloomy. I just got the new sump pump put in the house, so hopefully I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night and check the basement periodically for water puddles and all that kind of stuff, because we've had more rain here this year, I think, than ever in history. So over here we have the 2008 Suzuki Reno. Now, it's a good thing that it's downhill to the shop, because this car doesn't run due to the timing belt and valve issues and all that kind of thing. So what my plan is today, I think I might clear a little path over at the shop, throw this thing into neutral, and see how far I can coast over the shop so we can get this into place and start tearing it apart. Because even though we don't have power in the shop, I do have a cord ran over to it, so we do have light and all that kind of thing. And basically right now it's about 4 o'clock, and in the winter time, usually by 4 o'clock it starts getting dark. So I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and get this thing into the shop and start tearing it down, because we're probably gonna be working into the late hours of the evening for the winter season. But that's just what we got to deal with in the winter time, and a project like this is absolutely perfect for that. Oh yeah, one beauty Suzuki right here. When you buy a car from Copart, you get a free zip tie keychain, which is pretty impressive. Key on, we do have a good battery. Radio's coming on. Let's throw this in neutral. Here goes nothing. So we did make it a fair ways down to the shop, but it kind of levels off here. As you can see where this water's collected. I'm gonna have to get the skid steer out and kind of straighten out this driveway a little bit, because when the concrete trucks came in, they really did a number on everything. Up here is actually not really all that bad, but when we got closer to the shop, I mean, there's a little part that I have made for my trailer to go that way, and that's all pushed up, but nothing a little skid steer action, a little extra gravel won't fix. So on the front of this car, I'm not really seeing a tow hook. I'm pretty sure there might be something underneath this bumper, but I don't really want to lay in the dirty, wet gravel, so I think we could just hook onto this little lift point on the engine. If there's this nice good line here that's not going to damage anything, I think we should be okay, because it's going to hook onto here. It's going to sit on this metal, and this car really doesn't weigh much, so I think that might be a nice clean way of getting this car over the last few feet over to the shop. I also need to get the skid steer over here. The guy that did the gravel left a little bit extra up here, so when they did do the concrete, I could backfill and be able to have a nice area to drive in straight into the shop. Because as you can see, we do have about a 6-inch lip here, and I've been using my little car ramps over there to get the Commander and the golf cart inside, just so we don't have that big lip. But I'll probably just drag over the car ramps, and that probably will be enough. I mean, over here it's not terrible. I might be able to just move some of this concrete over, give us enough ramp to get in, but I guess we'll see when the car gets closer. It's a lot darker in the shop than it is outside, but we do have a lot of natural light that can come in with the skylights and everything, so when it is a sunny day, it's really bright in here. But I do have my shop light that I did have in my other garage, and this one's pretty neat because it actually has a motion sensor on it. So if you leave it plugged in after, I think 20 minutes or something like that, it will shut off, and as soon as I open the door over here, it turned back on. So it's pretty neat. It saves a little bit of power. It's LED, it throws lots of good light over our bench here. So we got the Commander and the golf cart in here right now. I put these in last night after washing them. The golf cart's been living outside for way too long. I actually had this thing repainted not all that long ago, and you can see it's pretty dull. It's gonna need a little bit of a wax, I believe, but we can get that all cleaned up eventually. This thing actually, I had big plans for doing all kinds of crazy things with it, and I had underglow on it, which has been ripped off because we've been off-roading and beating on it pretty good, but it does clean up pretty well, and we probably will be putting a little bit more work into this one in the future. The Commander we've had plugged in here for a little bit. I see we still have a yellow light on our charger, but should be enough to get it going, and we can use the winch on this to drag in the Reno. And over here is the mini bike. This is gonna be the first project. I just wanna get the Reno in the shop, and probably tomorrow we're gonna start on this, get the Torque-Aver from Go Power Sports on it, and basically strip the bike down so we can paint the frame and get everything ready for next season, because I'm not really into that whole tan frame look. We're gonna do all the mods on this and make sure we got all the power you can possibly squeeze out of this little 198cc engine, and it's gonna be an awesome little pit bike once again. One thing I do need to remedy is I cut this a little bit already, but what happened was when they poured the concrete, they pushed the seal back, and then now it's kind of lifting up on the rubber on the bottom of the door, and I don't want to get a bunch of mice in here. So I've cut reliefs in this one a little bit. I need to cut a little bit more out because it's still lifting it up. But on this door is the only problem. The other 4 doors are good, so I guess we'll just have to deal with that. Right, hopefully the Commander will start. I think it should be all right. Get that fuel pump a chance to get us some fuel pressure. There we go. Got our interior lights on. Saw a little bit of custom work I did long before YouTube. I got an air compressor up here for an air horn, interior lights. We've got some yellow lights kind of in the fenders and everything like that. So just little custom touches I did on this machine when I first got it. We'll probably go through all that and probably do a little bit more work on this as time goes on. Give ourselves a little bit of distance just in case this thing starts to roll. I don't want it running into the Commander. The Commander is not afraid of anything with its awesome off-road bumper, but I do not want to do any more damage to this car. I want to go on the other side and fix the damage. Like as you can see here, I don't want to add to the problem. All right, we got our winch line hooked up. Let's see how everything looks. Oh, looks pretty good. I still have the e-brake on the car. But as you can see right here, we're barely even touching on the metal. We're not against the plastic. We got a really nice angle here. I think this is gonna work out nicely. So the Reno is in neutral. We got the e-brake off. We're ready to start towing. And the joys of doing this yourself, you gotta kind of go as far as you can and then adjust the wheel on the vehicle you're towing. Let's give her a little bit of left-hand turn action here. See where that gets us. Oh yeah. I gotta say, I love having this Commander around. It comes up big so often. We got a big turn coming up. Come on, Reno. We're not giving up on you, little fella. All right, I think we need a little right-hand turn action. We're almost home. See if we got the ground clearance. I'm not seeing the bumper getting too close yet. There we go. Come on, baby. We're gonna make it. Gonna try a little winch action here. Bring her in just for the home stretch. Look at that. First project in the Hammerdown Motorsports garage, officially. Well, everybody, like I said, first project in the Hammerdown Motorsports garage, the little 2008 Reno. We're gonna get this head ripped off. We're gonna have all this stuff tore apart right down to the short block, and we're gonna start inspecting how many valves are bent and all that kind of fun stuff, and all kinds of learning experiences that we're gonna go through when doing this little project. But it is fun. I mean, this is a car that was definitely bound for the junkyard, I'm sure, just because of the amount of labor that you'd have to pay a regular shop to do this kind of work. But we're gonna tackle this ourselves. It's not a big deal. I've done tons of this kind of stuff working in the automotive mechanic industry, and we're gonna be pulling this one apart, getting it all done, and hopefully getting this thing out the door very shortly and clean it up nicely for somebody else to be able to pick up for some nice, reliable transportation. And I think it's gonna be a fun little project. Well, we did it single-handedly, brought the car all the way from the top of the driveway down the gravel road and into the new shop. I'm very excited about this. I hope you guys are as excited about it as I am to get started on this project. Stay tuned for many episodes to come on this, getting it all torn apart and seeing what we find and what kind of damage and carnage is inside this engine. But we will be getting it running once again and getting this thing driving out the door of the Hammerdown Motorsports shop on its own power. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button And as always, keep that hammer down.